Hello, hello. Hey, there we go. Howdy, and welcome to this video. Thank you very much for coming to join me. I am Dom, I am a product manager, and I take ideas and I turn them into apps, essentially. That's it in a nutshell. Now, I find myself in a situation where I have ideas and I have problems to solve, and I think, oh, I've got a great idea for an MVP or prototype, but I've got a bit of a barrier in that my older tech stack was Python with Django Web Framework, a bit of CSS, so Bootstrap and Tailwind and Materialize. And I sort of found myself saying, actually, I really want to be in a place where I can really rapidly prototype things. So after a period of time, I did a bit of research and I found Flutter was going to be the thing that I was going to learn. Now, my coding isn't great. It's a bit here and there. So I thought, you know what? Let's start at the beginning. Let's go through Dart as a language and then start to get an idea of how these things work. With that, I thought I should show my work. There's a great book called Show Your Work by Austin Kleon. So here we are, me streaming, me prattling around, trying to figure out how this stuff works. Now, in the last few videos, it's been about classes. I've had a bit of a struggle. I'm a very functional programmer, and I think it's because how I think about things is in a very kind of methodical and functional way, in a very literal and linear way as well. So I think that's where that comes from. So classes are a bit of a struggle anyway, but I know they play a big part in Flutter. So I thought, you know what, I need to get my head around this and really understand it. Yesterday's stream went terrible. I tried doing something, it went completely wrong, and I was trying to do classes, figure out mixins and whatever. And this is also a great example of why doing an hour a day really, really helps, because I did an hour and I failed and I didn't really get anywhere. And then I stepped away, I had a good night's sleep, I went for a walk, I mulled it over, and then that's when the sort of epiphany happens of like, oh, actually, this is what I'm trying to work towards. And the problem is that I wasn't thinking hierarchical enough. So let's sort of jump straight in, and I've just got Dartpad up. And I should have thought of an example before I start, but let's just jump straight in, right? Let's kind of create some classes for food, and for food. We're going to want to return, say, some ingredients, some method or whatever, but also we want to have some classification, and that's where I was sort of getting lost. Is that you're making classes for classification, and then that classification has a hierarchy. So let's start off somewhere in the middle, right? And let's kind of talk about, let's create a class, and let's start off with sandwich, like so. Give a class of, what should we go with? Sandwich. I'm trying to think. Okay, sorry, I was just having a little mull over. But we've got sandwich. Let's add to that fish and chips. Let's go with curry. And what else could we have? Sushi. Let's have sushi, like so. Okay. Let's leave it like that for the minute. Okay, so these are our classes, and we need to sort of classify these things, right? Sandwich, for example, let's put in a string, and we'll have a variable of filling, like so. And let's make that nullable. In fact, it shouldn't be nullable, right? Because all sandwiches have fillings. I think I have to put consts here. No, that broke as well. Non-nullable instances filling must be initialized. Try add an initialize expression or generative constructor that initializes it, or mark it late. I think I need to do late. Like that. And then I can call it in the constructor. So sandwich. So we'll create a function and just say this dot filling, like so. Okay. Fish and chips. We can create a Boolean. Let's create a Boolean, and we'll say salt, and we'll have another Boolean for vinegar, like so. So this is sort of like the questions you ask with this, you know. And curry, you know, you could say, what are the other types we have? Integers. How are integers going to work with this? Actually, like, we can do integers with sushi. Let's take curry out for the minute, and then we could say sushi. We can do late int pieces. So how many pieces of sushi are you going to get? In fact, that should be piece. Let's kind of leave it like that. All right. Now, there's going to be things we're going to have with this. So, for example, we could say calories, right? Ooh. Calories. Whoops, we haven't done an int, like so. And then fish and chips. We also are going to see calories as well. So let's put that in there and put that in there like that. Now, we could have like 200 of these classes, right? Where it's just like, right, we've got loads. Do you know what? I'm going to move my face. I've just realised that it makes way more sense for me to be over here. There we go. So, you know, we could have 200, 200 odd classes for, you know, one for a sandwich, one for fish and chips, one for sushi, curry, for blah, blah, blah. And each of them is going to have a property of calories, you know. So rather than doing that, so let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. And let's get rid of this. We can create a new class. And let's call it edible. Or do I want to call it food? Consumable. Because I'm also thinking, like, let's put a drink in here, for example. So let's go class and put in Fizzy. Like that. And then we can sort of create a size like that, right? Okay, so let's just say consumable for now. Consumable. Or we could actually yeah, let's put in consumable. Consumable. Like that. There we go. And in here we can basically put anything that's going to be related to something that you're going to consume, right? So we can say that you know, calories, integer calories can live here, like so. And then with sandwich we can say extends. Whoops, extends. Do you know what? I've done this wrong. This should be a capital C. There we go. Extends consumable. Like so. And what we get out of this essentially is now it's as if saying we had this inside it. Right? And anytime we do that, that's what we're saying. So with fish and chips, we want to say extends consumable And same with sushi. Whoops, extends consumable. Whoops, consumable. And Fizzy extends consumable. Oops. And then this way, what I can do is that when I'm declaring stuff in here for my variables, I can say, for example, I can create a new variable or field, as they could like to call it in here, a new field to sort of add to this, right? So if I was like, right, I want to put the calories in, but actually I also want to figure out, you know, the fat content. So integer fat. Now everything that's extended gets fat as well, which is true, right? We'll leave fat out for the minute, and we'll just leave it like this. Now, the thing is that we could turn around and sort of say, right, what other sort of means do you know, how else can you sort of express these things? And, you know, this is a drink, so we could have something specific for a drink, right? Which is what can we do specifically for a drink? That's a question. I don't know. Let's go. Let's also put in another class here, because I just had a thought. Milkshake extends consumable, like so. Let's go string flavor, like so. Okay, so there's going to be, I guess there's going to be something that is inherent to drinks that isn't inherent to food, right? So we might have something along the lines of you know, container, so cup, glass, or straw even. So if we were to create, for example, a Boolean for straw, served with straw, for example, every drink can have that, right? But you know, it's a case of, well, yeah, maybe. Equally, you could have served in a can, you know. Are you going to get sushi in a can? Yeah, not really. So what we can do in this case then is create two more classes. One being food, and another being drink. Drink. And another being drink. And then in drink we can declare things like so we said Boolean served with straw, like so, so that we know, okay, cool, that's something that we can set, but we never have to set that for food. And then when we come here to milkshake, rather than saying that, we say extends drink. Now, the thing with drink is that it needs the calories here. So we say extends consumable, like so. And the same with food, extends consumable, like that. And then we can say for food, we can say, let's go Boolean again and sort of say served on plates, like so. I don't know if that's a good way of doing it. Anyway, now we can change this to food. Change fish and chips to food. We can change this to food, and then this can change to drink. And now one of the things to sort of note from this is that you can only extend one class, right? So I can't say extend drink and food. That's a no-no, and there's our error. Each class definition can have at most one extends clause. So let's sort of take that out. So where we sort of need to do two extensions, we need to do it from one and then to the other. The other part is that we can't initialize these things, right? Why would we just initialize food? What would you get from that? I can serve something on a plate, but then that doesn't mean anything. So in that case, we're going to call it abstract. As a way of sort of saying this is never to be instantiated on its own. It has to go with something else. Same with drink as well, actually. Abstract. There we go. Awesome. So I don't think we have to do the constructors for this. I don't think. But we can do constructors for this. So let's do fish and chips. And do this dot salt. Oops, slat salt. And this dot vinegar. Thank you. With sushi, we want to initialize. So we want to say sushi. And go for this dot piece. For fizzy drinks, we want to go fizzy, this dot size, and then milkshake. We're going to go milkshake, this dot flavor. Like so. Excellent. There we go. Missed that K out. Milkshake, this dot flavor. Okay, so we've initialized those things, and we've also got this stuff up here as well. I'm going to come here and go to darts language, and we'll go to the. We'll just quickly have a quick look at the tour, and see what kind of comes up in terms of. Where is it? In terms of abstract, because I just want to check into that one real quick. Tool, here we go. Abstract. Okay. Abstract classes, here we go. Use abstract class modifier to define an abstract class, a class that cannot be instantiated. Abstract classes are useful for defining interfaces, often with some implementation. If you want your abstract class to appear instantiable, define a factory constructor. All right, cool. So I think the other question is that, you know, when we go to extends, then the question is how do we instantiate that? And I think that's what I'm going to figure out in this one, really. So class, blah, blah, blah. And, oh, so we've got the super. So maybe we use the super to do it. Let's have a look. I have actually done this as well before, and I've forgotten. I forgot how to do it. Is it in this one? No. I'm looking for another extends. Maybe it's under constructors. Using constructors. Named constructors. Okay. I mean, we've got this stuff in here. Let's sort of try and see where we go with this. And how do we do the named constructors? Named constructor. And I think, yeah, that's because that's the I think the example it gives is here where you sort of call super, and then I think there's a method called from JSON, and I don't know if you do super dot the thing that you want to instantiate, but let's sort of have a go at this where we can say milkshake is our object, and oh my God, I can't spell milkshake. Chocolate, milk, and call that one positional argument is expected. So this is where flavor is. So we can call it here, but quite evidently we can't. I thought late would at least allow me to. I guess you would have to instantiate. If you ever instantiate, you'd have to instantiate as null. Anyway. Okay. Now, that didn't ask us to do any instantiation up here at all. So I guess what we have to do is do something here. So super. And with drink, we've got served with straw. So does this work? It's throwing a wobbler. All right, that didn't work. So the question is how do I get that constructor into the drink, and then how do I get the constructor from drink further on still? I have done this, which is really frustrating, and I've just completely forgotten. Nope. Okay, well that's the start of classes, so I can't be before that. exceptions, assert, and then yeah, I think we're just getting switch in case loops. Okay, well we're definitely going to be down here. I'm sure I used the super. Maybe it was the super. Maybe it's super colon. Use super to refer to the superclass. Yeah, cool. Okay, great. Yeah, I've totally forgotten what it was. Completely forgotten what it was. All right, let's go over to Google and say Dart super class constructor. There we go. How do I call a super constructor in Dart? Colon super, yeah. So they, in this example here, whoa. Okay. So in this example here, I have the named constructor. So we call the, well, basically like, yeah, we're having to pass into here. So the constructor needs to be as it is here, this dot flavor. So that's this one. Okay. That's the milkshake one. And then for drink, I have a Boolean. And this makes sense actually, because you do need to, this is where we're passing arguments through. So that does make sense. So a Boolean server is straw. And then we'll have to call super, and it has an initializer in the class above. So maybe I do have to create the initializer in there. Expected 1, but expected 0 expected, but 1 found. Oh, this is here. Right, okay. So maybe I need to come to drink and create the constructor here. Served, whoops, this dot served with straw, like so. And yep, the class simple class string doesn't have a 0 argument constructor. Try declaring a 0 argument constructor in drink, or explicitly evoking a different constructor in drink. Oh, because of this one. So I need to do the same thing here to say Boolean server with straw. Copy that. Like that. All right, so let's run that. It's not kicking up a fuss. So let's do this, and then we can say print and say chocolate. Oh, whoops, let's do curly brace. Chocolate milk, like so, is served actually, let's do an if statement. If chocolate milk dot served with straw, then we can print serve chocolates dots chocolate milk dots flavor milkshake with straw, like so, and then we can just end that line there. So let's run that. Serve chocolate milk with straw. If we were to change this to false and run, we should get absolutely nothing. So let's do an else. Print. Oops, nope. Serve in. Let's copy this. Like so. In glass only. Whoops, and let's do that and run. Serve chocolate milkshake glass only. True. There we go. Right, so that's starting to work. Now we're going to want to be in a situation where we're pulling through the calories, of which we're probably going to have to do the same thing. So we're going to have to do an instantiation here. Sorry, a constructor here. Like so, this dot served on plate. But then we are going to have to say int calories as well, and then do our super calories like so. And then a similar thing here with drink, where we're going to have to int calories, and then super calories. I've definitely done something wrong. Now, why is calories wrong? 14, too many positional arguments. Oh, because I haven't created the constructor here yet, have I? So in consumable, we want to also create our constructor. So we'll do consumable and say this dot calories, and that's it. Boom, done. That's awesome. And now all of these we can go through and then say, right, okay, well, let's add those things in, right? So we can add calories like so. Instance member calories can be accessed by the constructor. That's interesting. Line 47. The instance member calories can be accessed in an initializer. Right. Oh, actually, I need to put one here as well, don't I? Int calories. Oh, and that's now gone. Okay, and then here I can put in 360. Cool. So here I need to put calories. And here I need to do int calories. Cool. And then food. It's just calories, I think. Served on plate and calories. So here we can just do bool served on plates, like so. Whoops, served on plates, and it's a little bit bigger, and let's hide that for the minute. And in fact, we could probably do a bit of cleaning up, like so. Let's clean that, clean that. Let's do another one like that. So it's like that. Okay. Served on plate, calories, and then we want to do super. Served on plates and calories, like so. So let's have a bit of a clean up. So a bit like that, bit like that, bit like that. Let's put this on its own line, and then let's do this, and then this. Now served on plates is having a bit of a wobbler. There we go. I spelled that one wrong. So fish and chips. Let's do the same here. Let's start off by cleaning up, so we've got a bit more reading room. Let's take this down here, and then we're going to give our super, like so. And then fish and chips needs calories, served on plate and calories. So we can just grab this and do that. And then in the super, we can do served on plates and calories, like so. It's kind of a fuss that's a Boolean. Oh, I'm missing a doofer there. And actually, to be honest, it'd be much better convention to, even though it doesn't need the comma, it's probably good practice to put it in. Anyway, so let's copy up to here, and then we can put in a comma and then replace that. Awesome. Let's clean that up, like so. Let's clean this. So let's put some commas in just to clear and make sure it's nice and clean. I have lost a doofer there. I should probably indent that like so, like so. Okay, that's fine. We can leave that one. And then milkshake. Like this. How did I do it? I did that. That, and then this, and this, and this, and then this. I don't know if I should. Oh, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Let's do that because that's what the IDE is doing by default. And that way we can easier to stay consistent. Okay, no errors. That's fantastic. So we can now say print warning, waiting, warning, choco milk.flavor milkshake is chocolate milk dot calories. There it is. And then let's put cal or kcal like so. And let's just end that with that. There we go. And hit run. There we go. That's going well. So let's create a food item, you know, and let's do a sandwich type, right? We did have a sandwich, didn't we? Let's have a look. Yeah. So sandwich, Plowman's. Just to be clear, by the way. This is a Plowman sandwich. Let's just accept those cookies. In fact, let's copy this and use that in our instantiation. And that's what it is, basically, on the Plowman's. Tomato, cheese, and pickle. So when we instantiate our sandwich, we need, and this is where named constructors comes in, and I feel like I'm going to be in a place where I'm only doing named constructors and not positional. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So the first argument, let's just close that off. The first argument we can put in like so. Let's take out the Branston. That's our first argument. Our second argument is it served on plate? Let's send true, and then the next one is the amount of calories. How do you get the amount of calories? I'm sure it will say it on here somewhere. 557. What did I say? 457. 457. I think I said 557 for some reason. And let's just close that off. Oh, I think I've done it already. So now we've instantiated Plowman's. So we can call print and this, and say ingredients needed for sandwich, and then we could do this, and then we could just go ploughman's dot ploughman's dot filling, and get that off like that. Boom. Ingredients needed for sandwich. There we go. And then we get that string back. Things are working. Okay. That's awesome. And then I think we've got about 10 minutes left in this session, and I think it might be worth trying to think about a mixin. So, for example, for example, we could say cola diet. Let's do it. Let's do a diet. A diet version, right? Because you can't kind of have a diet milkshake, right? But you can have diet fizzy. So let's create a mixin that does that. Let's put it straight under drink, and create a mixin mixin of diet and like so. Awesome. Now let's go here and go into Mixins and have a little look. Mixins. Whoops. Okay, Dart is an object already Mixins based inheritance. Mixins. Now, in this example, they've got a variable. Most importantly, I don't think you can have a constructor in this. Right, so we could say, so we have Boolean. How do they do it? Sorry, I need to come back again. Boolean. No sugar. And so that's false. Boolean. No caffeine. And set that to false. So these are default values. They can change. And maybe that's what I need to be thinking about with late and const and whatever. I'm not doing that in the best way, probably. So with Fizzy, I can say extends drink with diet. Did I use a lowercase in that? Yeah, I did. And then in this case here, like in this example, they put the mixin has it here can conduct. And then they set it within the body. Of this. So in Fizzy, my constructor here, I've got all this, and then let's create a body and then say no sugar equals false, no caffeine, caffeine. So I must spelled that wrong. And now will that equal to false as well. So that's not caused an issue. So we can take that out. So let's create a fizzy drink and see where we go with that. So let's say fizzy, and let's see if we can change that. So we've got both of those on, what was it, false, right? So let's change it to true. So fizzy, and let's say Coke Zero. Has Coke Zero got no caffeine? I don't know. And that is fizzy, like so. And now this is missing positional arguments, which would be, I need 3 positional arguments. So at the moment it will be surface straw, size, surface straw, calories. So in terms of size, let's put that as just like 330 mil, essentially. Surface straw, true. And calories, 0. Coke Zero has 0. Why am I was about to check that. It's called Coke Zero, for goodness sake. Like so. All right, and then how do I then, let's go back here. This sets it here, but it doesn't tell me what happens when I instantiate it. Like when I instantiate it, how do I now bring this in, right? How do I set that? Because it's already said, you know, you've got 3 positional arguments. That's your lot. Do I put it in the body, like so, and say no sugar equals true, and no caffeine equals true? Do I do it like so? Or 115. Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Use function decoration to bind function to name. Yup. Use the value of the local variable Coke Zero isn't used. Fine. Function expression can't be named. Try moving the name or moving the function expression to a function declaration instead. Value type of null, function dynamic. Can't be assigned to a variable type fizzy. Try changing the type of variable. Expected identifier. True cannot be used as an identifier because it is a keyword. Unexpected identifier. Undefined name, no sugar. Okay, so that I think we can safely say that did not work. Boom, fine. Let's try it here, and I'm sure this is going to give me an absolute wobbler. But let's give it a go anyway. There we go. Named parameter no sugar isn't defined. maybe I should do it rather than like this. What if I did it in, because I'm going to have to pass the arguments, right? Named parameter must be let's take these out like so, and then super now it's asking for 5 positional arguments, which is quite cool. So let's go true, true, and true. All right. What if I was just to put a random one here? Doesn't know what to do with it. Does not know what to do with it. So I'm in the same position of just saying, like, I'm just adding arguments in. But how do I know that this is relating back to this mixin? I don't. That's the thing, I don't. But I've created this anyway. So I can say print, I don't know, just say if Coke, whoops, 0 dots, no sugar. Let's just do that, no sugar, so it's going to be true, then print okay for diets, and close that off. Let's run that, and I think we know we're just going to run. I think we're fairly confident on that. But I'm not confident that actually goes back to the mixin, you know, because it sort of says, oh, you need to reuse code, and that's why you use the mixin. But like I've declared it here, I've got a thing of a function inside here, and then here there is that variable here, but it's inside of the constructor, and the constructor's not done in the way that I've done it. Let's go back to start. It didn't print anything. So I think a bit more time with mixins, but I think this now is a lot more of it's a better way of doing this kind of hierarchical stuff. Really kind of looking into it and saying, right, okay, well, these are the things that are, this is how you sort of do, you know, structure it, that you've got these top level things, you can extend and extend and extend, but you have to keep passing the you know, the constructors through, because when you get to the end here, you're going to have to pass all of this stuff back up the chain to make sure that this is correct and this is correct and this could, it has all of these classifications that are right. And then if we want to poke something in, like here with diet, you know, we can't put that at the drink level because not all drinks can be diet, you know, but a fizzy drink can. So we can kind of come down and say, okay, we'll say extends drink but with diet. And the thing with the mixins is that you can add more. So if we had another one, we could put in a I don't know, like a brand, for example, I don't know, and it will take it and say, okay, I can keep adding these on and on and on. And that's about it, really. Like I think we're going to call it there at just over an hour. Okay, cool, fantastic. Let's go back to my face. So classes for me are now starting to make a bit more sense. I don't think it's a case of, you know, getting into this too much with Dart. It's just when I get to Flutter, I found when I started doing a tutorial in Flutter and I started working through a book, what I found was I was writing all this stuff, and everything felt boilerplate because it just felt so foreign to me, especially come from a Python background as well. And I didn't realize where things related. I didn't realize why certain things were happening. And then I was sort of finding myself like, I'm getting some of the pattern recognition that I need, but at the same point, there's massive gaps in, right, how do I do this? How do I do that? And how do I figure these things out? So doing this, very helpful. I tried doing something like this yesterday and completely ballsed it up. But now it's looking good. It's looking all right. It's looking all right. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for watching. Most appreciated. Hit thumbs up. Because I'm a teeny tiny channel with barely anyone watching my videos. So I would really appreciate someone to come along and say, hey, what you did was interesting. And I'm also going to really focus in on getting to that point where we start building things in Flutter. I think another week of sort of going through this stuff, or what I might do, because this is sort of the end of the first week, is I've kind of got a grip on quite a few things. I might actually just go through tutorials direct from the site and see where we go with that. If you're interested, then absolutely subscribe. And if you want to give me a shout, I'm at ChuffedDom on Twitter, and my door's always open, so come say hello. Either way, let's call it there, because it's now just gone midnight for me, and another day ticked off the list. Don't break the chain. See you in the next one. Bye.